Friends, I'm here with a yoga offering. As always, please go at your own pace. Rest whenever you need to. Feel free to skip things or change things if they're not working for you today. Let's begin on our backs. You can come into a shavasana type position. Go ahead and spread out. Make whatever adjustments you need to so that you're comfortable enough. Relaxing back into the floor. Start to slow down your breath. You're welcome to keep your eyes closed or open them as it's useful for you throughout your practice. Let's begin by sliding arms overhead, stretching out long through your arms and legs. Interlace your fingers, press out through your palms, flex your feet. And then release, bring your right knee to your chest. Give that knee a good squeeze in. You might give it a little jiggle or shake. And then straighten this leg up towards the ceiling, holding somewhere behind your leg. Flex and point your foot a few times. Circle your ankle a couple times one way, a couple times the other way. Bend your knee back in, open it out to the right, and then straighten part way or all the way out to the side, grounding down through the back of the left leg. And then release, bend your knee, bring it across your body for a spinal twist. Open out through the right arm, let your knee and shoulder reach away from one another. And then staying in your twist, try straightening your right leg on a low diagonal, right arm on a high diagonal. And roll back onto your back. Bring both knees in and take a little circle or rock, massaging the lower back and sacrum into the floor. And then grab hold of just the left knee, drop the right leg long, squeeze this knee in close. Straighten this leg up, flex and point your foot a few times. Circle your ankle a couple times both directions. And then bend your knee in, open it out to the left and straighten part way or all the way out to the side. Grounding down through the back of the right leg. And then release. Bend your knee, bring it across, spinal twist. First with a bent knee. And then straighten the left leg on a low diagonal, left arm on a high diagonal. And then roll back onto your back. Bring both knees in. Take a little circle or rock. And then drop your feet to the floor, getting set up for a little core work. Interlace your fingers behind your head. Exhale, lift head and chest up. Inhale, release down. Up and down. Up and down. Up and down. Let's take two more. Last one. And then bring your right knee in and the left elbow across, taking them towards one another, and then extend right leg really long. Bring it back in. Extend long. in, reach out. Keep the belly drawing in strongly. See if you can relax your face. One more on this side. And then switch. Left knee in, right elbow across, and then stretch it out long. Knee in, reach long. Knee in, reach long. Knee in, reach long. One more. Let's take both legs up. We're going to outwardly rotate the legs and then bring one leg in front of the other, quickly switching as you slowly lower your legs towards the floor. When it gets difficult to keep the lower back on the floor, head back up, and we'll go up and down a few times. Nice and slow with the lower and lift. Quick little switches. Legs straight and active. Belly pulling in. Face relaxed. One more lower and lift. And then release. Bring both knees in. Rock your way up. And let's come forward onto the forearms for a plank pose on the forearms. So we're going to bring forearms to the floor, parallel. Extend the legs back and connect the head to the heels. So the whole body's in a straight long line. Hips aren't up, they're not down, everything's in line. Engaging strongly through the belly, thighs lifting, belly lifting, whole underside lifting. But can you relax your face? Breath deep. Let's come over onto one elbow so you can roll onto the outer edge of your foot. You can take the opposite arm up in the air. Long neck, long spine, strong core. One more breath here. Same thing other side. Engaging what's useful, letting go what's not needed. Can you keep relaxing your face? Have the breath slow and deep. One more breath here. Release. Let's lower the knees, the hips. Come into a sphinx pose, opening up the front side, opening the chest. Notice if your shoulders are up by your ears. If possible, push into the elbows to lengthen the neck. Let's press back to child's pose. Hips to the heels. You can rest your forehead on the floor. With arms out in front of you, walk your hands over to the left. Pull back through your right hip, stretching right side a little more. Come back through center and over to the other side. Pull back through your left hip, stretching left side a bit more. Back to center. All right, we're going to drop the forearms back to the floor, making sure they're just shoulder width apart, parallel. Tuck the toes and lift the hips, coming to a dolphin pose. So just like down dog, but on the forearms. If you're ever experiencing wrist issues, this is a great alternative. You may want to pedal out your feet a little bit, bending one knee as you press the opposite heel towards the floor. When you do settle onto both feet evenly, you're welcome to have your heels up, your knees bent, or go towards your full expression, possibly heels down, legs straight. Let's release. Drop the knees. Walk your hands back and tip back onto the feet for a little squat. So you can rock your weight forward and back. As you rock back, getting into calves, ankles. As you rock forward, getting into toes. And then drop the heels, lift the hips, and let's hang in ragdoll. Feet hip width apart, parallel. Take a little sway or shake out here. And then bend your knees a little more and slowly roll up, coming all the way up to standing. Let's come into a horse stance. We're going to take the feet wide, toes point out, hips nice and low, and you're opening your knees as much as your hips will allow, and then that's where the toes point. So toes and knees point in the same direction. Pelvis is neutral, abdominals engage. Sink the hips nice and low, and at any point when you need to take a break, go ahead and straighten the legs. So you can come up and down as you like, so you're working with your body, what you can handle, what feels right now. So let's bring one elbow on top of the other. Eagle arms. If you can get the palms together, do so. If they don't reach, just maybe grab a thumb or focus on the elbows. Put some pressure between the elbows to spread the upper back. Notice which arm is on top and then release. A couple gentle swings. And then other arm on top. Pressure between the elbows. Release, a couple gentle swings. And then let's rise up, turn the feet to parallel. Interlace your fingers behind your back, open up the heart, lift the chest, and then fold forward here. You're welcome to bend your knees a little or a lot. If you're able, let your arms wrap overhead. If this is too tight for your shoulders, you could also hold something between the hands, like a strap or sock or scarf. Let's release the arms all the way down. Lengthen out to a flat back. If it's not possible to have a flat back with hands on the floor, you may want to grab a block, something to bring the torso up, or bend your knees, something that allows your back to be nice and long and flat. We'll take one hand to the floor, under the chest, other hand to the lower back, start to open that top shoulder, and then come into a nice twist, extending high through that top hand. I'm purposefully doing this practice with no wrist pressure. So if you don't want to have your bottom hand flat, you can be on fingertips like I am. Got a little wrist something going on today. Last breath here. Release. And switch. Other hand to the center, opposite hand to the lower back, open through that top shoulder, and go towards straight long lines. They may not be all the way straight, but go in that direction. Top fingers reaching away from bottom fingers. Head reaching away from tail. Release. Both hands down, let that go, let the upper body release. Let's toe heel the feet in to about hip width apart, maybe a little wider, lower the hips, and let's take a squat, malasana. If your heels don't easily come to the floor, you may want to widen your stance, turn the toes out, or use some props for support. You're welcome to sit on a block or slide a blanket under the heels. We're going to open up the knees using the elbows, and we'll work our root lock here, Mula Bandha, same as a Kegel exercise. So as you exhale, draw the pelvic floor muscles in and up. As you inhale, release that. Exhale, engage. Inhale, release. Exhale, engage. Inhale, release. One more, engage, and this time let's hold it. Keep breathing, but drawing the pelvic floor up strongly, connecting that energy all the way up through the top of the head, nice long spine. And then release. Let's go ahead and sit down and extend the legs wide. Upavishta Konasana, wide angle pose. If you want to sit up on something, you're welcome. Try and have your feet and knees pointing straight up. You can either use your hands on the floor behind you, helping to sit you tall, or lean forward, either onto the hands, the elbows. Feel free to use props. Going towards your edge, lengthening and folding. Let's bring the upper body back up. Lean back, draw the legs in, we'll shake out, and then roll back onto your back. Bring both knees in. Take a little circle or rock. Let's take a couple back bends. We'll start with bridge, feet hip-width apart, parallel. Press your feet down, lift your hips high. Once your hips are high enough, interlace your fingers behind your back. Shrug your shoulders underneath you. Spreading the upper back and lower back away from one another. When the pose feels complete, come down and rest. You can rest here until you feel like coming up again. If you feel like coming up again, take any back bend. Anything you know or want to try, including supported bridge, something passive. Each time you're done, come down and rest. And you can repeat that until you don't feel like coming up again. If you are finished with your back bends, you can move on to your counter stretch, happy baby. If you're still back bending, take the time you need. In happy baby, grab the soles of the feet, press the knees towards the floor. You might take a little rock. You may want to try straightening your legs. And I'm going to wrap this practice up. If you want to keep practicing, you are welcome to do that. If you're ready to join me in Shavasana and do whatever you need to do to feel complete. If you want to take any last poses or stretches, if you want to adjust your clothing or grab props. Eventually coming into stillness and letting go of the control of your breath. Slowly begin to wiggle your fingers and toes, gently waking your body up again. And let this movement increase gradually through your wrists and ankles, eventually stretching out long through the arms and legs. When you're ready, bring your knees in and roll to one side, pausing there for a moment. And then use your hands to help you up to sitting. And bring hands together at the heart. Namaste. Thank you, everyone. Thanks for joining me today. Hope you have a good rest of your day.